The podcast you are about to listen to is one of the many podcasts that is part of the College Huddle, the largest fan-led college sports podcast community on the internet. Fan-made, fan-driven, and fan-fueled. The College Huddle.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free!
Okay, next question.
I'm a horse football coach right now.
You know, it got shoved up, shoved it up. It got shoved, right?
What's up, Spartans fans? The Spartan Savants are back after the holiday break for episode 48. It is, of course, your boy Willie, joined by my two esteemed colleagues, Frankenstein Fiddler, also known as Nicholas Homburg, and, of course, Travis Tyler. Good to see you guys. Hope you guys had a happy holidays and and a happy new year. But glad to be back with you guys.
Yeah, good to see you,
Good
Willie.
to be back. Yeah.
Great to be back. It has been too long.
It certainly has.
It has.
A lot has transpired since we've last spoke. Lots of MSU football recruiting, transfer portal stuff, some new hires for the football team. The basketball team has stayed hot. Obviously got the Lions and the CFP semifinals coming up in the next 2 days. So a lot to get into here. I feel like we start every show with the Lions, but obviously feels good to be number one. What a ass kicking on Sunday.
It's a good time to be a Detroit sports fan. Undefeated in 2025 so far as of this recording. So
That's true.
Even the Pistons are giving us something to smile about a little bit. So, but that Lions victory was probably one of the best things we could have hoped for.
Just what we needed. Just what the doctor ordered.
Absolute ass kicking.
Going and just getting the Vikings what they deserve, which is just 15.
Yes. An absolute ass kicking. Yeah, we needed that win bad.
Oh yeah. That was
going to be so nice.
That felt so good to watch, and it feels so good to just sit here and just be like, ha, we got you again.
Yep. And stress-free football this weekend for us.
Get to watch the Pawns knock
Best
each other
way.
down as
Yep.
what our subjects are. Our next victims fight it out. We got the world famous Detroit Lions.
That's right. That is right. So some big couple days for Michigan State football as well. Obviously not locking up any one seats, but locking up some new transfer portal players and a couple new coaches. So Nikki, I know you've been kind of on the transfer portal stuff lately, so I will let you kind of take it away from there and update the fans on who we've pulled in and kind of talk about the new Spartans.
Yes. So in the last few days, we've gotten 3. That's right. 3 new transfers. Although moments before recording this, one of the transfers, Mason Minnie, decided to change his mind and transfer to Cal instead. So I had a lot of really nice things to say about him, but now it's just, okay, did we really want a guy whose last name is Minnie on the team?
Yeah. He was a tight end, right?
Yeah. But I'm sure he'll be fine, whatever. But we got Eaton Boyd's younger brother, Evan, out of Central, redshirt freshman. He will be a wide receiver for us. Probably looks like he might be more of a depth piece, but always nice to have since we lost almost every single receiver.
Yeah.
And the big one, though, the one who I'm saying it off the graphic, this is his name, Ice Moa.
Nice.
BYU linebacker. Another Hawaiian, another Polynesian. The real question here is East Lansing the Hawaii of the North, or is Hawaii the East Lansing of the South?
That's a good question.
He also has a younger brother who I believe is going to be a senior this upcoming year. Who's a top 75 recruit in the country. So,
well, nice.
He's locking up these Hawaiians.
It's nice to have that pipeline back.
Yeah, that's something that this program did a really good job of in the good years, and now we're getting back to it. And, hell, it's good to get people just committing. Honestly,
Yeah.
Over the past couple of years, it's just seemed like such a shit show. It's nice to nice to be able to talk about this positively, even though I guess my tone doesn't really sound very positive right now.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, especially bodies at receiver and bodies in the offensive line, and Moa's a linebacker.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, his name's Ice. What else we got to do?
Paris.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
He could play everywhere.
Also, we're hosting Cole Moore from Montana State, already in MSU.
That's a
He has
big
2 years
one.
of eligibility left, and he's the top available offensive tackle. He just visited Cincinnati, and he's planning to visit us in Ohio State. I'm sure we'll get him. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get him.
In the bag. Yeah.
Yeah, Spartan, check that one off the list.
Well, that'll be not very often that we're recruiting really the same players as Ohio State. I mean, we might send a letter or two, but I don't think we're throwing a lot of resources at those kind of guys. But it'll be good for Jonathan Smith to mix it up with those guys and see how he can compete recruiting the same guys. It'll be a good measuring stick to see, kind of where our brand is at and where our recruiting, how talented of a recruiter he really is.
I do have a tidbit. One thing that I kind of like is, so Justin Thind of 247sports.com, a colleague of ours, good friend, he said he followed Cole Moore back in 2023 because he thought he might go in the transfer portal to do another year, but he decided to just wait one more year, kind of get more coaching, build up more strength before doing it. And he said even when he did that, Coach M already had him followed. So
Oh wow,
the coaching staff has been tracking him for a while, and
that's great.
they're ready to pounce.
That's great. I mean, Montana State, good football team too. I mean, they played in the FCS championship. Not like
2 days ago.
Yeah. Not like there's some throwaway team. So he's an all FCS player. That always bodes well. And let me tell you, we could use some people with eligibility on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Yes, we could.
Yeah. And I think, Nikki, you sent us a text earlier that it sounds like why I'm drawing a blank on his name. Alante Brown is staying for another year.
I saw that somewhere. That seems like that's what's going to happen. Which, hey, nice.
We need
I thought we
receivers.
talked about that before, but yeah, we do need bodies. We need
Yeah.
bodies in that room. We need
Yeah.
bodies everywhere, not just receiver, but yeah.
Yeah, no question. You guys think they're gonna go after another transfer quarterback, or do you think that they'll just keep that room kind of with it'll be Childs, Alessio Milivojevic, and Leo Hannon?
And Ryland Jesse as well.
Ryland Jesse.
Ryland Jesse. How could I forget? Yes.
I could see them going after kind of like a Tommy type situation last year.
That's what I was thinking. Someone
Yeah,
with some
yeah.
experience that started some games.
Yeah.
That you
I'm
could
going to buy
say, hey,
stock in Ryland Jesse.
Really?
Just so you know.
I'm
I just mean getting a veteran in the room. Yeah.
I'm buying. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Trev. I would like to see that. Although, if they don't, that means they must have some faith in one of those other guys.
Yeah.
I mean, what you read about Milivojevic, I know I'm butchering that name, but the thing is, everything you read about these high school recruits, no one's saying anything bad about them. So you really, especially when they're talking to their high school coaches, but everything I hear about him is pretty down to earth guy with a cannon for an arm. So kind of interested to see what he brings to the table. I know I kind of made a joke about him when we first recruited him, but I'm buying. And of course, Leo Hannon.
I mean, your selling points are kind of the same selling points for that guy that you joked about too. So
yeah, that's also true. He's at Eastern Michigan now.
yes.
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Noah Kim to Eastern Michigan. I wish they were on our schedule.
Honestly, I think he'll be good there. Like, that's probably where he belongs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And if he sucks there, then he sucks.
he was the backup at Coastal, which I feel like that's very good. Not on Noah Kim. He's a Spartan.
That's right. You're right. There's no reason for those ricochet shots.
Well, Picking him as the starting quarterback last year does not look good on that old coaching staff, though.
Oh my gosh, especially with
boy.
what's his name,
Ooh.
Levitt's doing it.
Sam Levitt, yeah.
I mean, wow.
Arizona State would have won with Noah Kim. That's all I know.
Well, honestly, they should have won.
Scattaboo.
That blown targeting call, and I guess this kind of segues into the CFP a little bit, but we'll circle back on the coaches that we hired. But that targeting call, I don't know how they missed that. Like, do you remember the targeting call that we got called against us versus Michigan? That was like the same exact play.
Yeah, but you know it is. That's how it goes.
I guarantee they said
it's for the brand.
Yeah, exactly. They were in the microphone saying like, we cannot make this call and end the game this way against Texas.
I mean,
but didn't Texas miss the kick anyway, so it didn't really matter.
But Arizona State was driving to kick.
Shit! Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
right,
kick the game winner.
Kick the game winner. That would have put them in field goal range too.
But Texas fans changed a call by throwing garbage on the field, so you
don't want that.
There's no calls going the opposite direction apparently.
Yeah,
let's do that during the Michigan game this year. If a call goes bad.
I like that. Before we get back into the CFP, we also hired 2 new coaches. Wrote their names down here somewhere. John Boyer will be the quarterback's coach. He's coming over from Oregon State, where he was a tight ends coach. And then James Adams coming over from Wake Forest to coach the safeties, basically filling in for that Coach Meat role. I've got some thoughts. I mean, it's interesting to get another Oregon State coach. I don't know why my head's going here, but Ben Johnson was a tight ends coach, and then I think quarterback's coach and offensive coordinator, or might have made the jump from tight ends coach to offensive coordinator. But those tight ends coaches, they might have a little. They might know how the offense works.
Okay,
they might be able to work some wonders with Aiden Childs.
And Ben Johnson was also an offensive analyst, like Boyer was before.
There you go.
Some other stuff. So, there's something to it. Go ahead, Nikki.
About Boyer. So I got this from some of my sources, a message board post quoting another message board post about a message board post on the Oregon State message boards. And apparently when we first were like taking Lindgren and everyone and Jonathan Smith, they said, oh, thank God they didn't take John Boyer. He was really like the head of our offense. He was really the genius behind it all, which I thought was just pure cope. But hey,
yeah,
maybe they're right.
Hey, he's got a good history. I mean, he had quarterback set records when he was the offensive coordinator at Northern Colorado, and he gives us, he worked with Jonathan Smith for 6 years over there. He's been mostly a quarterback's coach, except for when he was quality control assistant and analyst, or the last year when he was the tight ends coach. So, quarterbacks a trade, and it gives us a second guy on the staff who was previously an offensive coordinator. We have a guy, analyst Aaron Pflugrad, who brought in last year from I believe it wasn't Northern Colorado, it was Northern Arizona.
Yeah, it's an NIA school, one of those.
No, that's another FCS school.
Was that they broke like a ton of passing records with him?
Yeah,
right?
That is the one. Yeah. But that's an FCS school that's in Flagstaff. So we got a couple record-setting offensive coordinators that aren't even offensive coordinators on our staff. So I think that should help build some kind of offensive attack. At least you would hope. Yeah,
and another familiar face for Childs. That he worked with at Oregon State. To kind of help him progress. And then James Adams, I don't really know much about him. Big shoes to fill for sure. I mean, Coach Meat was very well regarded, especially as a recruiter. Former Spartan.
Yeah,
so
that one hurt.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, but glad to see that they're filling those spots, and it's been I'd say fairly good offseason so far. I think for Jonathan Smith. I mean, we won't really know until we see these guys in action. But I feel like they're going after. They're filling positions they need, and it seems like the guys they're getting can step in and play. I hope.
Yeah, they both get talked about as good recruiters too, which is huge.
That's important.
And Adams, I believe, is a Wake Forest alum too. So to pull a guy away from his alma mater can never be understated.
Yeah.
Like that's a huge win when you're able to do that. I mean, I know. I mean, we don't know what we're paying him, but I know everything's about money these days. But who knows?
Yeah.
It's still a good win to get away there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if there's any other news and notes for football. I think that's kind of it. Not that wasn't a lot, but busy week for Jonathan Smith so far.
Yeah, I feel like at this point it's basically just it's all a crapshoot. Like, I mean, that's what our players going to be good or the coach is going to be good. Like, it's either you trust the staff or you don't.
Yeah,
and I would prefer to trust the staff than to just think we're going to suck next year. So
yeah, it's a lot easier and a lot easier to do that.
And we just need body strength and speed and athleticism.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you get it from. Just put it out there.
Yeah. Yep, no doubt about it. So we talked about a little bit already about college football playoffs. Obviously that Arizona State Texas game. That's really been the only good game so far. I mean, Ohio State beat the crap out of Tennessee and Oregon. And then SMU, Trav, that didn't go well. I was really pulling for them.
It could have gone better, you know. It was there. It's just, you know, Jenny's got a little jittery, you know. It happens. It happens. His high school lost the state championship the night before. Maybe he was coping with something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, I think I don't know what SMU Stadium holds, but I know it's not as much as Penn State.
It's not. They did do a renovation that made it bigger, but it's definitely not. It's one of those where, like, if you're in the press box there, you have to go through the stands to get down to the field and like down to the tunnel for the media availability after the game and stuff. So it's an interesting layout.
Yeah, so definitely a big change. That's probably a stage that he's not played on before. And the weather, obviously, in Happy Valley, Pennsylvania, is not the same as
now.
Dallas. Well, it might be for the next couple days.
Yeah, that's right. You guys are getting hit down there, huh?
I've seen anywhere from like 4 to 18 inches.
Jeez.
So
I mean, there's just no way to leave.
There's no way it's 18 inches. That'd be insane.
That's like 2013 MSU canceled all classes for the first time in 40 years.
Yeah. Damn, I could use a snow day.
Nobody would know what to do if that happened down here.
Yeah,
just stop.
Yeah. Was there anything that surprised you guys so far in the CFP? I mean, I feel like it's been chalky outside of Ohio State over Oregon.
The Ohio State
Georgia
game.
Losing.
The Ohio State Oregon game. It was nice just seeing the Ohio State special, not on us. Like,
Like, oh, they can there's other people.
That was like worse than that like first half of the Ohio State Oregon game was actually, I think, worse than Michigan State Ohio State. Like that was like the best like football I've ever seen. Team just like
Oregon ended that game with negative 23 rushing yards.
Oh my god!
I mean, that's brutal. I thought games were going to be more competitive. I did not expect this many blowouts.
I did too.
Like
I did too.
Like there were bound to be some, but it's every game except for that Texas Arizona State game.
Yeah,
and that's disappointing because that's not what this was really supposed to address, but it wasn't supposed to make it worse.
Yeah, I think they got to revisit the structure a little bit and maybe getting on my soapbox, but like Oregon got screwed, and they were the number 1 seed. Like, I also think the bye week they didn't play football for like 2 weeks. Like that's like I think that hurt them. Like I don't know, like 1 week off, but it felt like forever.
It might have been like 3 or 4 weeks.
It felt like forever, right? Yeah.
Well, all 4 of those top seeds got knocked out, and
right.
when they came back from the bye week, so that's ridiculous. I think somebody brought up a good point on a podcast that I was on for work last night that they should reseed it like the NFL, So like Oregon's playing the worst seed that advances.
Absolutely.
Like, that would be perfect. Yeah. Don't reseed the whole field, but have it played that way. That makes a ton of sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
And like Ohio State had no business being the eighth seed either. Like that just I still do not know how they lost to Michigan. Like I would love to hear like Ryan Day, Chip Kelly sit down and talk through their game plan and how like what went wrong in that game, because they look really good right now.
Yeah, they've changed their offense since then. It's gone from running to set up the pass to passing to set up the run and running everything off of the counter base, basically.
Well, that's what they should have been doing all like.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
they're doing what they should have been doing. Yeah, they're finally
doing
doing what they should have been doing.
Hiding it from everybody.
They need to just go out and say, "Yeah, we purposely lost the Michigan game." Like,
Right. Yeah.
We wanted to play Tennessee. We didn't want the bye week. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, just like we didn't like. We just wanted to give Michigan something because they had such a sad season. Just like just throw
me a freaking bone here. And I mean, Michigan taking down Alabama. That's not playoff related, but
I mean, I did not like that.
I don't think I've seen someone play worse than Jalen Milroe played in a game. I mean, it's just that was one of the worst performances I've ever seen.
Do you think he was just checked out?
I kind of think the entire Alabama team was checked out for the first half. I don't think they came to play.
That's what I thought too.
Why did they opt out?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't. That's what's surprising. It's like I think they didn't have a lot of like. I don't think people were like opting out of that game for them.
Yeah.
They fumbled the ball like 3 times their first 3 possessions. They gave the ball to Michigan like inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I thought they didn't want to be there at first, and then all of a sudden they found themselves down 3 scores and were like, "Oh shit, we actually have to play a game."
Yeah. Well, I also think the weather, if you show up to play football and you don't want to be there and then it starts raining like that, I mean, it was crazy. Like the Alabama players were slipping and sliding all over the place, and the Michigan players didn't seem to have any trouble with it. Like it was something might have been wrong with their cleats. Honestly, they could not handle that weather at all.
I feel like I hear that every bowl season.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Michigan finally got was on the right side of the weather this time. It looks like they've learned how to play in the rain.
Can they be on the right side of the tunnel though?
No. Don't bring up the tunnel.
Okay. Yeah, won't keep going there.
That's bad news.
And this podcast became an extra hour long.
I was surprised not that Georgia lost, because I don't think this was a Georgia team of old. They also had their backup quarterback.
Yeah.
But I was surprised how bad. I mean, that game was not really close after halftime.
Yeah, I give Notre Dame no chance going into that one, and I was completely wrong. I mean, and that's a scary thing. Like Notre Dame's pretty much a one-dimensional offense, and they somehow beat Georgia, who's not incredible offensively this year, but their defense was definitely good enough that it should have been able to shut down Notre Dame.
Right.
So.
Please beat Penn State, Notre Dame.
I was just going to ask, you guys ready for Notre Dame over Penn State?
I do not need James Franklin in the national championship.
I can't have it. Cannot have it. That would be the end of my college football fandom. Like you have to draw a line somewhere. I just cannot sit here and deal with that.
Yeah, like I told you guys off the air, the only thing worse for us State fans in the Final Four would be if Michigan was still in there.
Yeah, that's true.
You got our next 2 biggest rivals right there playing each other for a spot in the championship, and
I
don't like it.
State versus Penn State too. Like that would just be such a kind of a bummer. Like,
oh yeah,
I don't want to see that game again.
You know James Franklin can't beat Ryan Day.
No.
Ryan Day can't beat Michigan, but James Franklin can't beat him. So
yeah, James Franklin will lose. They'll lose tomorrow. It's James Franklin.
Notre Dame is so annoying, but they're like, I mean, I guess I want Texas to win, but like, I don't know, they don't really do much for me either.
Yeah, I don't know. I find myself rooting for Ohio State. I can't believe I'm saying that publicly, but that's who I'm rooting for.
I've been covering Texas all season, so kind
Yeah,
of
that's fair. You also
Texas
live
and
there.
Texas A&M.
Yeah.
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 Also, my brother's best friend is a UT alum, so
Of course. Well, we will pick those games later. But I'm going to move on to basketball now. Tom Izzo has the boys rolling. A great win at Ohio. Any Big Ten win on the road, I think, is a good one. Ohio State was favored in that game, which was a little surprising. Hard-fought win. It was not the prettiest of games. Struggling with the three ball. Kind of like we were up by a lot, and then all of a sudden we couldn't do anything on offense. But again, when you can win games like that on the road in the Big Ten, the team just is clicking. I mean, they are deep. They're rebounding. Trav, I thought you did a great job on the OHIO podcast the other day, kind of highlighting how deep the team is. I mean, you've got 8 guys that are averaging over 9 points a game or something like that. It's like it's been great to watch.
Yeah, the balance has been great all year, and honestly, going back to this game, that's a game that the last 3 years we lose.
Yeah,
100%. The shot stopped falling from Tyson Walker, and then all of a sudden everybody else just caves in.
Yeah, I think we lost five versions of that game last year.
Yeah, and then we bailed ourselves out with a buzzer beater against Maryland in another one.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, it's like you were saying, it's very nice to see this depth. Like what I mentioned on the OHIO podcast was, there's not one, like, yes, Akins is averaging like 13 points a game, and there's nobody else really in double digits, but everybody else is like on the border of double digits, and you have like 4 guys in double figures scoring every night, and it's a different 4 every night, which is a fantastic thing to have, especially when you're a Tom Izzo type of team.
Yeah.
And but I think one of the biggest differences this year is they're defending better, they're rebounding better, and they're not hesitating to get out and run. They're trying to put, like last year, you could see them kind of try to run, and you kind of pull it back a little bit. This year, it feels like they know when to push the right buttons, and it's a lot of fun to watch. And it's just, I thank God we've been playing as well as we have.
Agreed.
Yeah. Cohen Carr. Oh man, he's better than I thought, and I thought it was going to be pretty good. He is lighting it up.
He is an athletic freak.
Yeah. I mean, when he dunks,
capital freak,
the roof comes off the building too. Like, he changes the momentum and everything. And Trev, you're absolutely right about the rebounding. I mean, that's been such a pleasant surprise to see us doing that again. I think Kohler finally figured out, like, I'm not going to be able to play unless I rebound. And it's like a whole different player.
He's finally healthy and in better shape too. Yeah. And I think Zapala has been a big factor too.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed he'd have the impact that he had coming over there. I wouldn't have thought he'd be playing as much as he is.
Yeah.
So I mean,
he's been when he's in, he does. I mean, honestly, he's probably been more impactful than Fiddler has been.
Yeah, Fiddler, like Fiddler's been all right, but he's been a disappointment compared to what we thought we were getting. Yeah, especially from the 3-point line.
Agreed.
Fiddler seems like the kind of guy who's going to get hot at the right time for us and be the difference between a Sweet 16 and a Final Four.
Yeah, I'll take that, honestly. At this point.
I think everybody would.
Yeah. Well, when your team is this deep, I mean, it's like, all right, Fiddler's game is not great right now. Maybe, hopefully when someone else's game kind of falls off a little bit, he'll figure it out and pick that guy up. So,
you really got to play well to keep your spot. That's a great problem to have as a team.
Yeah.
If you can even call it a problem, but
yeah. I mean, the Big Ten as a conference, I mean, Michigan, is it us and Michigan tied for first?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Michigan's
They might be
technically a half
one-
game up. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've played one more game.
UCLA.
UCLA. Useless UCLA. That's what I call them. Just couldn't do a job one time.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Useless since the 80s.
The board brewing.
Yeah. Big game tomorrow for the Spartans back in East Lansing. Got the Washington Huskies coming to town, and I will be the first to say I know nothing about their basketball team. Not a single thing.
I honestly forgot they were in the Big Ten. I'm like, why are we playing Washington? Oh, yeah, that's right. They're in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I know what I looked up this afternoon. That's about it.
Any good insight?
So they have a brand new coach this year. Came over from Utah State, Danny Sprinkle.
The Sprinkler.
Yeah. hell of a name, right?
Danny Sprinkle. You have Tom Izzo, Mick Cronin, and Danny Sprinkle. Matt Painter. Good, strong names. And then Danny Sprinkle. You're on mute, Nikki.
You should be working at Tasty Plus.
Yeah. Dave's Frosty Treats and Royal Oak.
He's gonna be getting a mass whooping from the MSU dairy store tomorrow.
Oh my god, I did not know
Buckeye
that.
Blitz,
That's fucking great.
He goes by Danny.
Danny Sprinkle.
Danny
I think you
Sprinkle.
gotta go Dan or Daniel. I think it's Danny Sprinkle. Sounds like a kid.
I
Kid I would
just
shove
read his
into a
profile.
locker.
It sounds
Give
like a
us
guy from The
Swirly.
Sopranos.
Yeah, this is Tommy Two Times, and we got Danny Sprinkle. Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
Oh.
I can't wait to see what he looks like.
So he brought Utah
There's no-
State to a couple tournaments, and they were at the top of the Mountain West pretty much, but for Washington, 10-5, some double figures guys. They beat Maryland. They lost Illinois by 4. They're 1-3 in the Big Ten, and had no notable non-conference games. Their leading scorer is a guy that I believe played for Sprinkle at Utah State, and Great Ozabor.
But this team's full of names. You know?
Yeah, I knew you'd like that one. Yeah, he's a big guy. I believe we were looking at bringing him in, but he chose Washington over a few other schools. There were a lot of schools that wanted him in the portal.
They put up some points.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't played a lot of great teams, but they've got a lot of games in the 70s. 89 versus Washington State, 75 versus Maryland.
Kind of what the Pac-12 basketball teams did.
Yeah.
His name's Danny Sprinkle. I think we got this one.
Yeah. He's a tall drink of water, this Danny Sprinkle. I would not guess that that's his name. I mean, they're 13.5-point favorites. I don't think I'm too concerned about it tomorrow. The only bummer is that it's on the same time as the football game. But
YouTube TV.
Dual screens. Yep. Free plug there. So I guess I want to. I think now's a good time. We're like 13, 14 games in. Kind of, a couple weeks ago, I kind of laid out the schedule. I think we've won every game since then. Like we kind of talked about. What do you guys think the ceiling is for this team? Do they have your hopes up? Are you still kind of cautiously optimistic, or?
The next loss is going to really bother me. That's where we're at right now.
It depends when it comes and who it is.
It's going to be a big, no matter what, it's going to be a big bummer because we're on a great streak right now.
Yeah.
I
I
would say cautiously optimistic, but my hopes are rising with every win.
Yeah.
We're on a Dan Campbell upward trajectory.
Nice.
It's concerning considering the last couple of years. Please don't let me down. That's
Right.
That's
Yeah,
all I'm
that's kinda how I
asking.
feel. I'm fairly optimistic. I don't know what the ceiling is yet, just because I think there's teams that are better than us, obviously. But I am worried that we don't have that one guy. I mean, depth is great. Don't get me wrong, but like not having that go-to guy is a little concerning. I feel like you see it. I mean, this is like the story of Jaden Aiken's career. You see it at times, but then other times it's like you're like, oh, he's not that guy. But I think, like you said, Trev, like with each win, I feel like that Ohio State win, I think, was a big one for me, just because, like you said, that's a game those teams in the past 3 years would have just lost. So it was good to see us kind of, face some adversity, face a tough game, because the games that teams we were playing before that, those teams weren't going to beat us. But Mickey.
Yeah.
The announcing on that Ohio State game.
Oh my gosh.
Horrid.
Just terrible. I mean, Gus Johnson is useless. He's about as useless as tits on a bull.
I used to like him. Over the past couple of years, though, I'm out. I'm out. It's not working.
He's a Michigan
homer.
Yeah.
Hard.
Just what Michigan State, Ohio State fans want to hear during a basketball game. Michigan football.
Yeah, really.
And he's acting like the Ohio State was like the main event. Like Michigan State is the main event in Big Ten basketball.
Ever heard of Tom Izzo? What the hell?
Yeah.
Like the lowly Michigan State Spartans are playing the world famous Buckeyes.
He did. He said the world famous Ohio State. What are they world famous for?
Football, sure.
Yeah,
football, basketball. Yeah. I mean, ask their own fans. They're paying more attention to the football team right now.
Yeah.
And they're, like we mentioned with the OHIO podcast, they even said, I'm losing my train of thought here. They even said that Michigan State's the program that they're trying to mimic and live up to in the barometer test.
Yeah. Last time I checked, Great Value Arena, whatever it's called, is not exactly the toughest place to play, especially when the students are out on break.
It's also
when they're on a break, but I feel like we haven't played very well there in years past, though. It's
Yeah, we've had worse teams in years past, that's for sure. But I mean, at times he compared Jeremy Fears to Mateen Cleaves, and then like 2 possessions later compare him to AJ Hoggard. I mean, those are two.
Have you watched AJ Hoggard play?
Yeah, like what? Like
when was the last time you saw Jeremy Fears smoke a layup?
Yeah, Jeremy Fears is an actual point guard, which is why I think we're running more, and the offense seems to be a little more flowing than in years past. And also we have big men that can catch the ball and that know what they're doing.
There were times in that game where the offense got a little stagnant, and that had me a little bit worried.
Well, the second half, it's like they started taking. I feel like we had like a Cohen Carr back cut to the basket. Someone cutting the basket was kind of working it quite a bit, and they took that away from us, and we were not shooting well. I thought Richardson got caught dribbling a couple times.
There was a lot of dribbling from everybody.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's going to happen. I mean, there's going to be ups and downs. Basketball, Grant Noski, our good friend, always says it's a game of runs.
Yeah. I just thought that was the first time I could really notice the ball getting stuck on one side of the floor.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
Shot clock winding down, and we're still 40 feet from the basket. Yeah, that felt a little bit. That was definitely concerning. But when it came down to it, they made stops, and they put the ball in the hoop when they needed to. I was pretty impressed with that win, especially because Ohio State came back. I mean, you don't see a team give up a 13-point lead and still win the game very often like that. I mean, I feel like they really punched us in the mouth when they went up by 1 after we were up 13. And we came back and you saw how excited those guys were in the locker room. They were fired up. That was a big win for that team.
Oh yeah, not necessarily a program builder, but definitely I don't know, a shaper.
Confidence builder.
It shows that the principles that the program's built on work.
It's a tone setter.
Let's put it that way. Yeah, tone setter's a good one.
Yeah. And Nick, you talked a lot about it during football season. Like, when all you do is lose, that's kind of what you do. Like when you win a game like that, it's not like this team needs to learn how to win, but like those games when you're in the next one, like you think back to how you did in this one, and you kind of know, all right, it's winning time. Like we gotta buckle down and make plays. And that you can do that, especially on the road. But yeah, I feel good about this team. I think I would say 2 steps above cautiously optimistic. I think I can see this team making a run. And I have not said that about any team probably in the past 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it's been since Cassius Winston.
I'm saying it now. We're winning the Big Ten.
I agree. I agree. UCLA played terrible last night, and their coach was pissed. I don't know if you guys saw his press conference. He was fired up.
Cronin throws a lot of tantrums. He's that guy. He's that kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah. But he was like, I'm the only one that cares. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah, he was like, I'm the only one that shows up to practice and pushes and has passion. It was not good.
Maybe you should recruit some players with passion then.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just a thought.
This is the Big Ten, buddy. Come on, Mickey boy.
Yeah, hey Mickey.
Get your beach bums working. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on basketball before we move on?
We got to sweep Michigan.
Yeah, they kind of make me nervous. They're a much better team than I was expecting them to be.
Yeah, that coach is looking to be like a good hire so far.
Yeah, and they got 2 bigs that could give us trouble, and their guards are playing really well.
I'm not scared.
No. They're ranked now, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. They're like 24 or something.
That coach kind of has a weird name, doesn't he?
Dusty May.
Dusty May. Dusty May and Danny Sprinkle. That's great.
Dusty May. Sounds a
Dusty May. It does. Dusty May Sprinkle.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it's tough with the basketball games. There's just so many of them. It's not like you really can dive deep in like football. But
I'll say that. I mean, we have a relatively easy January and March to go through. Yeah. February is rough. We have 7 top 25 matchups.
7 top 25 matchups.
7 top 25s in February. Oregon and UCLA back to back, and then we have a 3-game stretch that's Purdue or home against Purdue. Or no, it's at Illinois, home against Purdue, and then at Michigan, 3 games in a row.
Ugh.
So that's now,
right.
and we have to go to Maryland.
Is it a go thing to say?
Not the same team that they usually are, but that's a hard place to play. Go ahead, Nick.
Aren't they ranked? Isn't Maryland ranked?
I don't think so.
No, not right now.
Yeah,
but I honestly would take losing both that Illinois and Purdue game to beat that Michigan team. Just because I want to sweep them. I want to sweep them. I want to sweep Michigan, okay? That football game made me so mad.
Yeah, I am with you. We owe.
One of the nice things is that we only play Wisconsin and Purdue once this year, and they're both in East Lansing.
That is nice.
That is nice. Huge. No going to the Kohl Center.
Yeah.
No
Thank
Mackey.
God. No Mackey. No Mackey, no Kohl.
Speaking of arenas, tough places to play, you know where we're going on Sunday?
Where?
Northwestern.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Northwestern at noon on Sunday in Evansville.
There's a particular enemy not playing this year.
Yes.
That's
Thank God.
true.
No
Thank
more
God.
bullying.
Oh
The
my
boogeyman's
God.
gone.
The boogeyman. The Boo Booey Blues. Oh my gosh. Oh, sweet mama, I got those Boo Booey Blues. That guy. Oh my
I
God.
hate that.
Yeah, like Washington, Northwestern, Penn State, and then Illinois and Rutgers, and that game's at the Garden, which I've been told I cannot go to by Nikki.
Yep, that's correct.
And then Minnesota,
banned,
USC, and then it kind of gets tough. UCLA, Oregon, Indiana, Illinois, Purdue, Michigan. Damn, that's a tough stretch in February for sure.
No trips to Assembly Hall apparently either, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Our schedule's not that hard out, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, there's just a lot of ranked games coming next month.
Yeah. I mean, it's you're going to play when you have a team that's 18 or it's conference is 18 teams deep with some pretty big names. I mean, you're going to eventually run into a stretch like this.
Yeah. And we make jokes about the Pac-12, but those basketball teams, the teams that came in were traditionally pretty good basketball teams for Big 12 schools.
Yeah, I agree.
USC, UCLA, Oregon, especially lately.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
Washington's had its moments, but
yeah. Dang. Well, we'll see. I mean, this is one of those things where a deep team is kind of good for those because like we've talked about a little earlier, when someone's legs are tired or not their night, hopefully one of those other guys steps up and you got some fresh fresh legs. But I think this team is ready for that stretch, though. I'm excited.
yeah, good start to the year.
Yeah, for once,
Keep it going
for what feels like the first time in a long time.
Yeah. Hopefully 2025 is a good one. So
winning the Big Ten
keep
would
it
be
going.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Would make my my preseason prediction come true too.
I don't even need us to win it outright. Just give us a share.
Yeah, I agree. Hang a banner. All right, I think
those.
Yeah, we haven't hung one in a while, so I think Nikki, you've got a basketball theme Miss the Vis for us this evening.
I do. Let's cue it.
Hear the music.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Miss the Vis.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Miss the Vis.
Got to get prepared.
Today, we are doing the top 10 single season defensive rebounds.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Earliest is 2000. The earliest one is 2005. So they're all names that you'll
Okay. They're okay. Well, should know. Will I remember? Who knows?
So I'm going to give you the amount of rebounds, which, I mean, that's just not going to help you at all. And I will give you the year.
Okay.
So number 10 with 198 rebounds, 2012 to 2013. So our freshman year.
Okay. So, and this is single season?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 2012, 2013. Was he still there when we were there? God, I'm forgetting. Is that Derek Nix?
Nope.
No. That's the only
Adrian Payne.
name that came to mind. I wouldn't have thought he was playing that much by then.
Junior year.
Was that his junior year? Okay. My math is off here. Okay.
Number 4.
Not a good start.
Number 9 with 199 rebounds.
You haven't given me the year yet.
2014 to 2015. Final 4 year.
I'm gonna go with. Wait.
Our junior year.
Yeah. I was about to guess somebody who wasn't there. That I'm gonna go. At least I think he wasn't there. My years are all off right now. I'm gonna go. Brandon Dawson. No.
Denzel.
Oh, rebounds? Jesus. Okay. Whatever.
All right. Number 8 is on this list 2 more times.
Okay.
2009 to 2010. 205 rebounds.
2009 to 2010. Man, this is a hard category. 2009 to 2010. Draymond.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 7, 2015 to 2016 with 208. rebounds. He's on this list twice.
He's on this list twice. Okay. That would have been our senior year. I don't like where my answers are leading me. I'm going to go with Matt Costello.
It's Denzel. Second time on the list.
Okay, well, whatever.
Well,
you gave me that one of them was on there 2 more times. You didn't say that there were any more other repeats. Okay.
I did not realize that one at first, so that's partially my.
Okay.
But the only
I was thinking it couldn't be a repeat because you didn't say there was no repeat.
Sorry, yeah. The only other Draymond is the only other person who repeats. On the list.
Okay.
So number 6, 2010 to 2011, with 210 rebounds.
That's got to be Draymond.
That is correct. Okay.
Yeah.
And number 5, 2005 to 2006, with 214 rebounds.
Oh, you're gonna be testing me here. Let's see, 2005 to Paul Davis.
That's right. And number 4, with 216 rebounds from 2014 to 2015. So same season that we did Denzel earlier.
Damn it! I swear he wasn't there, so I got
This is our junior year.
Yeah. So he wouldn't have been there. Dude, I'm losing the guys that were on the team then. Dawson, I don't know.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
Wow.
When he said Dawson earlier, I was like, "Oh, that's too bad."
I was like, I didn't think. I thought if he was on the list, he'd be lower on the list. He wouldn't be up there.
Number 3, honestly, this one's kind of easy. Number 3, 200. Jesus, this is a huge jump. 237 rebounds, 2019 to 2020.
19 to 20.
So no, there was no NCAA tournament that year, which is crazy. That was all Gabe.
You're right. So Tillman.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Number 2. This one is surprising. Extremely surprising. Number 2, 2018 to 2019, with 265 rebounds.
Jeez, that's a lot. 18, 19, huh? Let's see. So that would have been the Final Four year. Okay, you said it was surprising, so I'm going to go with surprising name in terms of rebounds. Cassius.
No.
You said it was surprising. I had to go with it. No, just give it to me. I got
nothing. No, I got nothing.
Kenny Goins.
Oh my god.
Oh wow. I would not have guessed that.
And number 1 with 315, 2011 to 2012.
I would assume that's the last Draymond spot.
That's correct.
Not bad,
That
Trav.
was difficult. That was very difficult. I didn't like that one at all.
You did all right.
I did all right, but I didn't like it. It was very uncomfortable. It had me squirming, questioning how many brain cells I had left.
Hey,
Not very many for me. I'm struggling. Picks.
Yep, here it comes.
Okay.
I obviously did not update that graphic.
Yeah, and that's a part of it is on me too. So last we left off with the picks. We picked the first round of the college football playoff games, and many of the bowl games. Nick was in first place by 8 games over me and 10 games over Travis. I have not calculated the picks for those bowl games yet, so we'll have an update next week. We'll loop these all in together, and we'll see where we're all at.
I got a feeling I dropped a fat turd on those.
Yeah, probably me too. So this week with not very many college football games left, we're going to do the NFL wildcard weekend games. We'll pick the 2 college football playoff games, and then we'll get a Michigan State basketball. That line came out, so we've got that. So first game, we're going with Chargers -3 at the Texans.
Yeah, I got the Chargers. I don't like the way the Texans have been playing lately.
Yeah, the Texans are kind of not good. So I'm going to go Chargers.
I am going with the Chargers too. I hate to say it, but Harbaugh has done a nice job there, and I'm with you, Trev. I do not like the way the Texans have been playing. CJ Stroud doesn't look like the quarterback that he was last year or early this season. Next game, Steelers at Ravens. The Ravens are favored by 9.5.
I'm going to take the Steelers, but I think the Ravens are going to win the game.
I think it's a classic first division or wild card round. Ravens just blow out the Steelers. So I'm going to go Ravens.
I'm leaning with you, Nick. I talk about another team I don't think is playing very well. Steelers. I think their defense is good, but it's not great, and I think Lamar's having the best season of his career. So I like the Ravens there. Heading over to the AFC, staying in the AFC, I should say. Broncos traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills Mafia. Bills are -8.5.
I'm riding with the Mafia.
Yeah, same. Joshy and the Mafia.
Yeah, I hate that I'm picking all favorites so far, and 8.5 is a big number, but I like what the Broncos are doing, but I think the Bills offense is going to be a little too much in that one, especially on the road. All right, first NFC game here. The awful Cheeseheads from Green Bay, the Packers, are traveling to the city of brotherly love to take on the Philadelphia Eagles, the 2 seed in the NFC. Eagles are -4.5.
Yeah, Philly turns the Packers into cheese steaks.
Okay, I like that. But you know what? I'm going to go the Packers. I don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to play.
I saw that he was wearing a helmet at practice today, which is probably a good sign for Philly fans. I am going to ride with Nicky on this one. I think the Packers could surprise some people in this game. Maybe keep it within a field goal. Maybe even win. I don't know. Okay, staying in the NFC, the 6th seed Washington Commanders and rookie sensation Jaden Daniels will travel to Tampa to take on a resurgent Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are favored by 3 in that one at home.
I got Washington winning the game.
Ooh. I feel bad. I feel like I keep picking the favorites too, but I really like the Bake Show and the Bucks.
I like the way Baker's playing too. I just think the Bucks are a product of being in the worst division in football. I don't love picking a rookie quarterback in the playoffs, but I think the Commanders can get the job done here. I'm going to go with the Commanders. Side with this. Okay. The Purple People Eaters, the Minnesota Vikings, will travel to Los Angeles to take on Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. Been playing very good football, finally healthy. The Vikings are road favorites here, -1.
I'm very tempted to take the Rams, but I'm not going to do it. I'll go with the Vikings.
Rams, I think, are going to beat the Vikings substantially.
I am siding with Nicky there too. I'm taking the Rams. Okay, over to the college game. Number 7, Notre Dame takes on the Penn State Nittany Lions. Notre Dame is the 7th seed. Penn State is the 6th seed. Notre Dame favored here by 1.5.
Pass.
Nuclear bomb.
Yeah, no, I'll take Notre Dame. I think that they're more prepared, and I'm not going to side with James Franklin.
You know, I hate James Franklin, but I'm choosing Penn State.
Wow. Wow, I will not be picking James Franklin. I will be going with the Fighting Irish. Friday night, the Ohio State Buckeyes, the 8th seed, will take on the 5th seeded Texas Longhorns. Ohio State looks like they're probably the best team in the country right now. Favored by 5.5 over the Longhorns.
Yeah, I think this one's a close one. Texas has some problems in the third quarter, and I think that catches up with them in this game, and Ohio State hangs on by a touchdown. Buckeyes.
Yeah, Texas did not really look like they wanted to win that game against Arizona State. I think they wanted to be on vacation, so I'm going to go Buckeyes.
Yeah, Texas just they're not great at closing out games. I think Trav, I think you got the right idea. A couple of mistakes in the third quarter. Then Ohio State pulls away. Ohio State just beating the crap out of everybody right now too. Feels like the offense is really clicking, so I'm going to go with the Buckeyes. Okay, the big one tomorrow night in East Lansing at the Breslin Center, the house that Izzo built. The MSU Spartans will host the Washington Huskies. MSU favored by 13.5.
Yeah, I think Spartans cover that. I have no faith in Washington.
Give a score.
You want to score?
Yeah.
I will. Let's say. Well, let's see. He says 13.5. Let's say 74-60. Sure. I don't know.
All right.
78-62. Spartans give Danny Sprinkle an ice cream sundae.
Yeah, I'm going to go 82-67. Michigan State as well. Yeah, it's going to be a.
You say 82?
Yeah, 82-67. I think the Spartans are going to put up some points. At home against a conference team coming off a nice win. Thursday night, students will be back. I think that'll be a good night at the Breslin for Izzo and the boys. I think they'll put one on them. Take care
From
of business.
Rama to the Breslin.
That's right. Doesn't get much better. Prime time at the Brez.
Classic.
Well, that will do it for episode 48. Sorry. Coming up on the 50th episode. Maybe do something a little special for that one. But, of course, thanks to Nikki and Trav. And as always, check us out on YouTube. Click the like button, subscribe. You know the drill. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else you get your podcasts, Amazon, whatever it may be. And as always, check out the other podcasts on the College Huddle site. Trav was just on the OHIO podcast, which is the Ohio State representative for the College Huddle, talking about the previewing that basketball game. And they do a nice job over there. And Trav, you did well yourself. But that'll do it for us tonight. And we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully 2 wins for Michigan State, 2 conference wins. We'll have to talk about then. But until then, go green.
Go White.